Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what secrets it holds? Beyond the stars and planets we know, some people believe there is a mysterious object circling our world. They call it the Black Knight satellite. This is not a normal satellite made by humans. Instead, the story says it is an alien probe, a dark and ancient guardian that has been watching over Earth for thousands of years. It is a fascinating idea that combines our love for space exploration with the excitement of the unknown. This story suggests we are not alone in the universe, and that evidence of visitors has been orbiting right above our heads for a very long time, a silent spectator to human history. The mystery of the Black Knight satellite comes from many different stories and events that have been connected over time. It is not one single discovery, but a collection of strange happenings that people have woven together into a single grand legend. Believers in this theory point to media group, vintage radio equipment, old radio operator at work, close-up of radio dials at stock at distribute_equally, old radio signals, early reports of satellites before humans launched any, and even strange photographs taken by astronauts. Each piece of evidence seems to add another layer to the puzzle. The story is like a cosmic detective case, where clues from different decades are pieced together to paint a picture of an object that seems to defy all logical explanations, making it a powerful and enduring tale. This mysterious object gets its name from its supposed appearance: dark, silent, and unknown. The name itself, Black Knight, sounds like something from an old legend, a dark warrior standing guard in the cosmos. The story claims that this satellite is far more advanced than anything humans could create, even today. People who believe in it say that it has been sending messages to Earth or perhaps just observing our progress as a civilization. The idea that an alien intelligence placed this object in orbit so long ago is truly captivating. It makes us question our place in the universe and wonder what other secrets are waiting to be discovered just beyond our atmosphere. So, what is the Black Knight satellite really? Is it a 13,000-year-old alien artifact, or is it something else entirely? To understand this, we need to look at the history of the myth. We must travel back in time to explore the different events that gave birth to this incredible story. By examining each piece of the puzzle, from strange radio echoes to modern space photos, we can begin to separate the facts from the fiction. The journey to understand the Black Knight is a perfect example of how science works. It teaches us to look at evidence carefully, to ask questions, and to find the real and often simple answers behind a great mystery. The story of the Black Knight often begins more than a century ago, long before the first human-made satellite, Sputnik 1, was launched in 1957. One of the first clues comes from the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla. In 1899, while working in his laboratory in Colorado Springs, Tesla detected strange, repeating radio signals. He believed the signals were so orderly that they could not be from Earth. He even wondered if they were a message from another planet, perhaps Mars. At the time, no one knew what these signals were. Today, scientists think Tesla likely detected natural cosmic phenomena, like pulsars, which are distant, spinning stars that send out regular beams of radiation. Decades later, another piece was added to the growing puzzle. In the 1920s, a Norwegian radio operator named Jorgen Hals noticed something very strange. When he sent radio signals out, sometimes the echo of the signal would come back to him many seconds later. This was much longer than it should have taken. This phenomenon is now called long-delayed radio echoes, or LDEs. For believers in the Black Knight, these strange delays were proof that an alien satellite was capturing the signals and sending them back to Earth. While scientists are still studying LDEs, they think they are caused by complex interactions with the Earth's ionosphere, not by a mysterious alien object. The story gained more momentum in the years just before the official start of the space age. In 1954, a man named Donald Keyhoe, who was a retired U.S. Marine and a well-known UFO researcher, made a bold claim. He wrote in newspapers that the U.S. Air Force had detected not one, but two artificial satellites orbiting Earth. This was shocking because it was 3 years before the Soviet Union launched Sputnik. Keyhoe's claims created a lot of excitement and suspicion. However, there was never any official confirmation or proof provided by the Air Force. Many people now believe these were just unsubstantiated rumors that fit nicely into the growing legend of a secret object in space. Then, in 1960, Time magazine published an article that seemed to confirm these suspicions. The magazine reported that the U.S. Navy had found a dark object in a polar orbit, something neither the United States nor the Soviet Union had launched at the time. This sent a wave of excitement through those who followed stories of UFOs and secret space objects. For them, this was the Black Knight. However, it was later revealed that this object was very likely a piece of a failed American spy satellite. It was simply space debris from the Discoverer 8 mission, which had broken apart. Each of these events, when viewed alone, has a simple explanation, but together they built a powerful myth. The most famous piece of evidence for the Black Knight satellite came much later, during the age of the Space Shuttle. In 1998, astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour were on a very important mission, STS-88. This was the very first mission to begin building the International Space Station. During a spacewalk, the astronauts took many photographs. One of these photos showed a strange, dark, and angular object floating against the backdrop of space. When this image was released to the public, people who believed in the Black Knight theory were certain they had found their proof. The object looked artificial, complex, and unlike any known satellite. It was the perfect image for a cosmic mystery. The photograph quickly became famous online and in magazines that focused on UFOs and conspiracy theories. It was presented as undeniable evidence of an alien craft orbiting our planet. The shape was unusual, and its dark color matched the description of the legendary dark object from earlier reports. For many, this was the smoking gun, the final piece of the puzzle that proved the Black Knight was real. The image was shared millions of times, and the story grew with each share. People asked why NASA was not talking about this strange object. The silence was seen by some as a sign of a cover-up, hiding the truth about alien visitors from the public. However, the real story behind the photograph is much more ordinary, as explained by the astronauts who were actually there. Astronauts like Jerry Ross, who was on the STS-88 mission, have clearly identified the object. It was not an alien satellite at all. It was a thermal blanket. During one of the spacewalks to connect different parts of the new space station, this important piece of insulation accidentally came loose and floated away. The astronauts saw it happen and knew exactly what it was. The blanket was shaped in a way that, from a certain angle and in the strange light of space, it looked like a mysterious craft. NASA and other space experts have confirmed this explanation. The thermal blanket was officially cataloged as space debris, given the number 025570, and tracked until it eventually fell back into Earth's atmosphere and burned up a few days later. So, the most famous piece of evidence for the Black Knight satellite was nothing more than a piece of lost equipment, a common occurrence during complex spacewalks. This shows how an ordinary event can be turned into something extraordinary when it is viewed without all the facts. The truth was simple, but the myth was far more exciting for people to believe. Even though every piece of evidence for the Black Knight satellite has been explained by science, the story remains incredibly popular. One of the main reasons is that it is a fantastic story. The idea of a 13,000-year-old alien guardian watching over us is more exciting than the truth about lost thermal blankets or natural radio signals. Humans are natural storytellers, and we are drawn to tales of mystery, adventure, and the unknown. The Black Knight story has all of these elements. It speaks to our deep-seated curiosity about the universe and our hope that we are not alone. This powerful narrative is hard to let go of, even when faced with scientific facts. The internet has played a huge role in keeping the legend alive. In the past, a story like this would have been shared in books or magazines with a limited audience. Today, a single photo or a dramatic video can be shared with millions of people around the world in just a few hours. Websites, forums, and social media platforms are filled with discussions about the Black Knight. Each time the 1998 photo is posted, the story is introduced to a new generation of people. Often the scientific explanations are not included, leaving viewers to believe they are seeing real evidence of something mysterious, which helps the myth to grow and spread uncontrollably. Furthermore, the story of the Black Knight taps into a common mistrust of authority. Some people believe that governments and space agencies like NASA are hiding important information from the public, especially about aliens. For them, the Black Knight is a perfect example of a cover-up. When scientists provide a simple explanation, like a lost thermal blanket, it is sometimes seen as a lie designed to hide the bigger truth. This creates a cycle where every attempt to debunk the myth is seen as further proof that there is something to hide. This makes the legend very difficult to completely erase from popular culture. In the end, the Black Knight satellite is not a real object, but a powerful idea. It is a myth built from a collection of unrelated events, misunderstood science, and our own imagination. As of today, June 23, 2025, there is no credible evidence to support its existence. Yet, its story continues to fascinate us because it represents one of humanity's greatest questions. Are we alone in the universe? The legend of the Black Knight encourages us to look up at the stars and wonder. And as long as we have questions about our place in the cosmos, stories like this one will continue to capture our imagination for years to come.